Sir, you understand you're still under oath?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yesterday, we stopped an interview from January 7th at approximately 1 hour and 2 minutes and 35 seconds in. At this point in time, Your Honor, I'd ask to finish that recording.
You may.
Ms. Gilman?
More than that, so.
Was she flew on the very...
Ms. Gilman, could you make it a little louder?
When was her scheduled flight back?
Tuesday morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know which
Monday
one.
off because of long weekend?
Yes, that was the understanding.
Okay. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, you said on Friday the 30th when she landed, she told you that she had a work issue, she had to go back.
She was alluding to things being very busy with stuff on Friday. And she was, I remember her being tired.
Did she book a return flight earlier? Did she change the reservation? Did she book a new one?
I don't, see, here's the thing. She sent me the flight coming to Boston,
Yep.
but she never sent me the return flight. All I know is that she told me she had a return flight on the 3rd. But, I don't know what time or what that was. I assumed everything was just the way it was, and then she moved the schedule up 2 days, which is not the first time she's done that. I mean, it is, the whole thing was a bit, I mean, it was odd, but considering the last couple months, it wasn't so much that I was like, hey, wait, what's happening? Whereas, when I was talking to Jem's like, well, this seems insane. And I was like, well, Jem, these are the things that I've been dealing with over the last couple of months. So it wasn't something that I would be like, well, raise an eyebrow to. I was like, all right, all it did was further confirm that, I got to get to DC with the kids. We've got to work this out. It's it's too much stress on the whole family, and that was the main thing. And I just wanted to be together all the time.
So did Anna ever tell you when the return flight was booked, aside from the Tuesday flight?
Say again?
In other words, did she tell you which flight she was booked on the 3rd?
No, but she always took the first or second flight out.
Okay.
And she had said she had already booked flights for January. But we were supposed to talk about that. And then she said, she did say she was changing a flight, but not this flight. She was changing the flight for Martin Luther King Day. So I don't know if she did that or if she didn't, but she was talking about changing that flight. Because she was going to come in Thursday night, stay Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, leave Tuesday. And maybe try to leave, maybe say an extra day. So she was offering 4 or 5 days. Which is again, was normal when she said, I'm going to take Thanksgiving, like 2 weeks for Thanksgiving, but I'm going to stay 5 days when I come back. And she only stayed for 1 day. And then she was always like, I'm going to have more time. And it seemed like she was having less and less time.
Okay. On New Year's Eve with Jem,
Yes.
was Jem aware that she had to leave the next morning?
No.
Did, why do you think that is?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Jem, we were probably because we just wanted to. I mean, most likely just to enjoy the time with Jem. He was only here for 4.5 hours or so, and we hadn't seen him in
Were
person.
you aware that she was leaving the next day?
No, I was aware that she was probably leaving early. Again, the assumption or story I got in my head was that she was leaving on Monday.
So she was originally planned to leave on Tuesday. You were on the assumption by her leaving early, it would be Monday.
Yeah, I had no information otherwise, but I was definitely surprised. She's like, I gotta go.
Okay.
But-
So, what were your plans with on New Year's Day?
Yeah, so it was going to be the same stuff. The only difference is that she might have come up with me to see my mother possibly, or we would have, or the whole family would have done something like my, up in Swampscott or somewhere nearby. Because I said I had time, I don't have to drop my mother off, so we can go see her and get her what she needs, and maybe we could do some stuff. So I was excited about that.
Oh, good, thank you.
No. I didn't bring it up, but she was troubled by whatever happened with Adela. She's like, he says, can't be my friend. This is 30 minutes before New Year's. And she brought it up, she did bring it up with Jen at the time before.
Okay.
You said he couldn't be a friend? What?
He texts on New Year's Eve, saying friendship is over or something to that effect, right?
Yeah.
What did he say? I'm,
What did Anna say?
She said, yeah, I'm sorry, I appreciate, like, give a leadership sort of answer, like, I accept, what you're saying. And then he called to leave a message, and then I remember her saying, I'm not going to listen to this. And that's actually she actually put her phone upstairs shortly after. I think she understood it. I think he was saying that, President didn't see me for the holiday season. You're in town, not seeing me in person, often enough. That's not acceptable. I'm here to, support you, take care of you, or whatever it is. So, it was just a bit. I mean, it's not the relationship I guess she thought that they were having. He's married to the child, just by the way, and they've known each other for 10 years. So just to give you some background.
Do you know how they met?
Yeah, they worked at the Willard Intercontinental together back in 2012.
That she went and put her phone upstairs after that?
After that, she, I would say it was 10 or 15, and then she, I remember her putting her phone upstairs because then she came back down without it.
Was, Thomas came down at one point, in the hospital, you and
Yes.
Jen and Anna.
Yeah, exactly.
Was this before, during, or after Thomas was participating as well?
Oh, yeah, Thomas went to bed at, he went to bed, and then he came over at like 9 or 10 or something. I think Anna took a bunch of photos. Jem and I don't have any because she didn't send them to us yet. But I think she sent one to Will Fasto. So that was when, that's when the photo was taken about. So it was maybe 10 o'clock or something like that.
You know where upstairs she put her phone at that point?
Yeah, on a bedstand.
In your room?
Yeah, or my room now.
The one with the ceiling tile on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, not in the ceiling tile drawer, on top, yeah.
Makes sense.
But she did seem disturbed by that, which was odd. And she did bring it up, she brought it up to me and Jen at the time. So, I mean, that was something that, not normal, but.
You guys kind of cut us off. New
Yeah,
Year's Day.
sorry about that.
No, no problem. You had said that the plan for New Year's Day was to take Anna and the kids up to.
Maybe, yeah, that was
did you actually have a plan?
No, we didn't have a full-fledged plan at the time. But we had options and stuff, so.
So was the nanny,
Sorry.
was the nanny coming over Sunday, the last night thing, was that?
No, the nanny was gonna come over anyways, because I was gonna go, I set everything up in advance, because I was gonna have to go take my mother, so I wanted the nanny here, I didn't know what it was gonna look like and what Anna was gonna wanna do and things like that, so. Also, if I was gonna see my mother, I was gonna take the kids somewhere, then we're gonna meet up later, but, because I have so little time outside of the house, when I do try to take, most of it as a family, and get everything done that we said we would do.
You mentioned having options on New Year's.
Yeah, because I had the time to go see my mother, so I was like, we'd go up and we wanted to do something, with her, with the family, we had those options were available to us, which, like today, they would not be, right, because I don't have any time.
You guys had an argument after she said she was
No, we didn't have an argument. I was a bit taken by surprise. Not to be crude, but I was in the bathroom, and she came by and said, I have to go to sleep. And I was like, well, hold on. And she's like, I have to get up early, Brian. I have to go tomorrow. And I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. And then she said, I said I might have to leave early. I said, I didn't know it was going to be like that early. So, but I did have an argument with her for the Thanksgiving and the Christmas Eve. So I wasn't gonna make the same mistake 3 times. I was like, okay, and then she immediately backed it up with like, hey, I'm gonna come 4 or 5 days and, for Martin Luther King Day, because we were making a new schedule for January and February. I said, coming every week might not, is really not good. Is there any way that you could come every other week for more time? So, we were working on that, when she arrived Friday and Saturday. We were talking about that.
If the kid took her phone and did it on her, how would she contact someone for a ride?
If the kids took her phone and hid it, how would she contact someone for a ride? She wouldn't leave I don't think she would leave the house without the phone. But, let's say that I'm wrong about that. So sure, she would use my phone, right? But, she put Lyft on here, I guess she would download Uber and get it, but I know where my phone was. And, we didn't have this phone at the time. So, there were phones in the house.
Did you use any iPads potentially?
Oh, there you go. She probably would be able to use the iPad to do it. I would not, but she would know how to. The only thing I saw was one phone, and her laptop. That other iPad that I'm telling you about should be at the DC. She did have a laptop with her, but she programmed all of these.
How did Thomas get his phone?
I think my mother bought it on I forget when we got the phone, because we had to get the phone and, or my mother had it and she was bringing it with the watch and everything, so it probably came here on she probably brought it on the 2nd or something, everything came on the 2nd.
When you didn't have your phone and you sent those emails, those 3 emails?
Yeah.
What were they to again?
So Zach and Daniel, my business partners at Let's, my wife and my mother.
Okay. How did you send those emails?
My laptop.
Should I ask you, did you do anything to hurt your wife?
No, I would never do that.
You know, we all have arguments with one another, spouses, etc. Has that ever escalated to a physical confrontation?
No, sir, no. My wife and I got along very, very well. Hey, the only stress we were having was weren't together. It's really, I bothered Tracy about it for months. The family doesn't work without my wife. Never hurt my wife. I mean, I loved her and what would it, I mean, I think about my kids too. She's a wonderful mother on top of being a wonderful wife. I mean, to take that away from them, I mean, I just couldn't even imagine something like that. That's just not, would never do anything to hurt my wife. I wanted to spend the rest of my life with my wife. I'm still going to. And, you know, we were apart because of the job and my legal problems.
Her leaving very early, made you angry?
No, I wasn't angry, I was sad. I got angry about Thanksgiving, and then you know, I realized I was just sad that we're not spending a lot of time together. And she was sad about it too, and it was exhausting for both of us. She was away from the boys, I was always dealing with the boys. But my wife and I were a very good team. We agreed on almost everything. We agreed on I have to get to DC. It just didn't feel like we were the authors of our own lives. So that's why she wrote that on the thing. We have to be the authors of our own lives. We have to make this happen, Brian. We're always working together.
In your mind, where do you think she is right now?
You know, I like a lot of people have said maybe she's at a spa, you know, and she was under a lot of pressure. Doesn't really track with my wife. She loved her job and she loved her family, so she would always be focused on that. I mean, maybe the country house, like in Bella, in Serbia, but I have no idea. I can't, I'm having a hard time imagining it.
Does she have any other identifications?
She's got a Serbian passport or Serbian, international identification cards, one with Lubic, one with NIP. I haven't seen her use them recently. I don't know if they're in, I don't even know if the date is on them, or the proper date, if they're
Other than Serbia, any other ties internationally in the country she would visit, or family or good friends?
She's a language expert. She spent time in college in France, which she speaks perfect French, but she doesn't have any family, or she has a friend there. I don't know if he's still there, Julianne, but other than that, that would be it. And then, DC and Boston. I mean, DC,
Sisters in Canada.
sisters in Canada, sure. They're asking for a broader,
You said you have international flights. Was she scheduled, it appeared in the newspaper, not that I ever believe the newspaper, which is why I'm asking you guys. It appeared in the newspaper that she did have reservations to go back to DC on January 3rd.
that makes sense, yeah.
I'm just asking if that's confirmed.
That's our understanding, yes.
Do you know what time?
Something like that, no, I think it's
Plus, definitely morning flight, yeah, always.
And that she never changed that.
to our knowledge, it's not canceled or adjusted.
Any of the chatter between JetBlue and her over the last few months? Because when she doesn't call, she does something, they do it online, like online messaging. through
Oh,
JetBlue.
she probably goes to the JetBlue site.
Yeah, they have a chat, yeah. So that's, so she could be doing that and feeding the kids or something like that. But but a lot of times she would talk to them and it wouldn't work out, and then she would take a break and then come back. Or,
I'm not talking about like an email back, we're talking about it's a live chat.
yeah, so sometimes, I don't know if it could be like, they're like, we'll just come in, change at the counter, or they're like, I can't do this. And she was always asking for, she had gotten a good status, especially with the card, so I don't know what her deal was, but it's possible that, because she said when I have this, they can make changes at the counter, upgrades at the counter are different, so, yeah, she never called them.
Anything else at the moment?
What about like brunch reservations or any brunch plans on New Year's? That's a popular thing to do.
Not that I know, but Anna was talking about making some, so I don't know if she did it or not. Like, I haven't checked, I haven't looked for anything on Open Table or Resi or anything like that. I could take a look.
And then,
Because last year we went the whole family, we did go to brunch. So that is a very normal thing to do.
so normally there's like a bigger
Yeah, I mean,
scheduled plan for New Year's.
right, but I mean, this year, things were up in the air.
So, a lot of time outside of the house on New Year's Day. When did you put that request in? Was it a normal Thursday request? Or
Yeah.
was it special?
No, always Thursday,
Okay.
And the request was from what, from 3 to 9?
3 to 9,
So
yes.
there wouldn't have been brunch.
No, yeah, we wouldn't have had brunch, but it was good. That's
Would she
something.
have gone to brunch without you?
No, well, she would have left, no.
I mean, if she were going home on January 3rd, would she have gone out to brunch with other friends or anything?
No way, no. The only time when she was here that she saw someone without me was Rima. And I was over twice, she did that twice, that's the only, everything else we would do together or people would come to the house. The time together was very important for us.
Close friends in the area that,
Peter Kirby,
that you think we should speak to as far as that knew Anna real well, that she was close with that in the past?
Peter Kirby, they went to the same leadership school together 3 years ago. And he lives with his wife and John Marshall. they've been calling for support. Jim Mutlu, who's here, obviously, a family friend, and someone who is, obviously loves Anna very much. Rima Ferrer, she was Anna's mentor, and, they were very good friends. Those would be the main ones that I would think of.
I think that's pretty much it for now. I mean, you're gonna have to obviously keep up the dialogue and back and forth as we get into it. And follow-up questions, as you can imagine, as we continue.
I might have it here. That's helpful.
Okay, just go through.
Yeah, let me get that going. But I think she sent it to me. Because you normally send everything. Could this be it?
We appreciate it.
No.
You obviously have the ability to get your own credit card statements. You wanna pull those and then, for the past week, and that'll help us with travel and places
Oh.
to stop and stuff like that.
Yeah, just check the Chase Freedom. That's the one that I use. I don't use the Capital. The Capital one has been out of commission. It was only in commission for a month or so. Do you have access to the Chase Freedom or?
We gotta jump through a lot of hoops.
Yeah, absolutely. We get how much of the Chase Freedom would you like?
Very first through.
Oh, okay, so just, okay.
We'll give y'all December. We'll give y'all, we're not gonna,
That's,
Probably easier just to, they come in a month.
whatever the last month's statement is, I'm not sure if it's, you know how it is, some of them start
Sometimes it's
December
broken
10th.
up.
If you have any statements, progress that comes in.
Yeah, so will I. But I don't think they do anything.
I'm still not.
I have dealt with Anna, she does everything online.
yeah.
Anna's cousin, the one with the,
Milan?
land dispute in Serbia.
Milan,
right?
yeah.
Milan, I was gonna ask his name. The
Yeah.
last name?
Lubicic?
Has he ever contacted you?
No. I think he's got to speak English though.
So, you said there was a conflict that,
Yeah, there's a terrible conflict. If you speak to Alexandra, she'll know more about it. But since I've known Anna, basically what happened 2 generations ago in Serbia, in Belgrade, Anna's father's mother, so her grandmother, bought a piece of land with her sister or something, and then they had kids, and there's been a land dispute over it because now it's worth a lot of money, and you can build a large building there. And that building, that kind of money in Serbia, change your life. I mean, it's like winning the lottery here. And then they've been fighting over it for many, many years, 20 years at least. They thought they were going to resolve it in 2017. And then things didn't work out. Things went back and forth. And then just this Thanksgiving, they, basically dissolved the deal. So they had a deal that took 15 years to put together. 5 years later, they couldn't perform, and they're about to split.
so aside from that, and the, from Julie, is there any, business conflicts with real properties or with this new job? Is there anybody that would be upset with that?
Yeah, people have asked me that same question. I can't think of anyone that would be upset with Anna. I mean, everyone loves Anna. I mean, she's wonderful. So, if you see all the texts and emails coming in, like, what can we do? Love Anna. I can't think of I can't think of anything like that. Honestly, that would be upgraded to anything like this, especially.
whether it's her fault or not, like any issues
Oh.
at work that comes up, that somebody would be slighted?
Not that I know. I mean, the only people I know are the people that she was working with, and actually had a very good working relationship with everybody. No, again, it would be very hard to. No, I wouldn't have a name to give you for that.
Okay, what about you? Any previous business partners, any current partners, anybody that would be, upset with you that would want to try and hurt you in some way?
Well, I mean, what about the guy in LA?
Oh, but there's a civil lawsuit.
Yeah.
A
Well,
civil lawsuit is not the same as wanting to hurt you.
okay, but
There's a civil lawsuit in California. I don't think that reads any.
okay, yeah, I
I
don't.
understand somebody suing you.
Yeah.
and
But Anna too.
trying to hurt your wife is different. Yeah.
Right, but they're suing Anna as well, and he called Anna during the thing. So I mean, that's the one, that's one person. But I mean, I don't think so either. But that,
Could we have the name just to?
yeah, what is it, Ron Rivlin?
Like the gallery.
Gallery thing. But he had
Ron?
Ron Rivlin.
Rivlin.
Yeah, but he did call. He called Anna, and he brought her into the case.
What do you say you were called?
Well, he sent her threatening email, Facebook text at one point. You stole from me. I know the police and the FBI. I'm coming to get you. Things like that. But that was 6 years ago. And other than when I was arrested, he tried to contact her via Facebook or something, 2018. But we haven't heard from him since.
What was the 18 contact?
2018. I think it was just he was trying to friend her or something like that.
That was after the criminal stuff started.
That's right when the criminal stuff started. Yeah, but that would be someone who certainly I have a different situation. So him and I mean there's Jung Hoon Lee in Korea, but highly unlikely. I mean he's he's a son of a billionaire. I don't think he would.
What in Korea?
His name is Jung Lee.
It's another person involved in it.
Yeah.
They're getting restitution and everything.
Also,
The guy is
Jung could
correct.
care less. Yeah.
I don't think anything of that would rise to that.
Yeah. Same with Arnaud Dubuis.
And besides, they would be pissed at him, not.
Yeah. Ron is the only one that tried to bring us
Jung Lee is and what was the other name you said?
was Arnaud. Or the other person who Arnaud Dubuis, who's in Paris. He's a art dealer.
Were they all partners in there?
No, it's all a separate situation.
So why separate incidents, like aside from?
Yeah, well, they're similar
They're
memorandum.
separate incidents, and honestly, I don't think anything about his criminal case would have anything to do with this.
I don't either, but I still want to know.
But those are the names of the players, and Ron was the one who did have contact with my wife, and did serve my wife at work.
Okay, but if people have a problem with you or your wife, like those are the people we want to know.
Right.
I understand that. Some of those people may be very far-fetched and do have any involvement in this.
Well, definitely
Anything
Korea and
else.
France are pretty. I mean, and he's the other guy's in LA, so.
If anyone contacts you or some of our media or how.
We're,
in any context, really.
We will give you any information that we get.
What was that, a truck was here last night, with, out-of-state place, was that a visitor or? is that-
An Abdullah?
What time did he arrive last?
Adele, yeah, he was
You
late.
called me.
Yeah, I called you late, so you must have not.
And how long was he here roughly?
10 minutes, 15 minutes. But my mother's saying it was 30. I was trying to.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I was trying to usher him out quickly, but at one point he brought James Ryan, who was one of Anna's mentors 10 years ago, who I haven't seen in a decade, which was weird. And then I was speaking to James, but he went over and spoke to the kids or to Zach, the kids for a minute. But
I'm hearing a lot, I'm talking with Anna's friends and you, mentors and leadership, what exactly is going on with these groups that you guys are part of?
yeah, so how to explain? It was something called Boston Breakthrough Academy, and it was just a leadership training program. We formed pretty close relationships there. And we, as I said, that we raised a lot of money through our community service projects each, from Loving Spoonfuls, Torch Foundation, things like that. So we've stayed connected. It was more than 3 years ago. I guess I started this month 3 years ago, and Anna graduated in February 3 years ago, so 2020. Well, it's like a 4 or 5 month program, and then you get a graduation, and he says that you've graduated or have a certificate of completion of your of work. So
Okay.
it's not accredited, to be clear.
Okay. Is Abdel is a member of that?
He is not, no.
He's not.
But
The guy he brought was?
James Ryan, no.
I thought it said.
A mentor from her when she was young at work, yeah.
Okay.
And I had a good, someone that she considered. They, I guess they had spent time together, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago as well.
When's the last time, how much of that, leadership group that you mentioned?
Oh, yeah, it was 3 years ago now.
Was the last time she was like
Part of it, yeah, but we stay in touch.
Okay. All right.
But, Jen, Melissa, and Peter Kirby, all of them have gone through that training. But if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate.
Appreciate that.
Anything from the pool today?
No.
Very dirty pool.
Okay. It is,
Oh,
15:36. Shut up.
Your Honor,
Yes?
could the Commonwealth request that identification D is read into the record?
Sure. So, George, from time to time, I will read you what are stipulations. They're simply agreements between the parties. I sometimes say they're facts you can take to the bank if the parties agree to them. I'm going to read such a stipulation now, marked for identification as Exhibit D for ID. At 5:18 a.m. on Saturday, January 7th, 2023, Cohasset Police Detective Harrison Schmidt received an email from Richard Walker 9984 at gmail.com, which stated, "We have the so-named Anna Walsh with us here. We had a deal worth $127,000. She messed up. We have her here with us, and if she doesn't pay the money, then she'll never be back. And we know that the police and the FBI are involved. Good luck finding us." Detective Schmidt received a second email from Richard Walker 9984 at gmail.com, which stated, "Here is Anna Walsh. Unless she pay the money we deal, she isn't coming back. Comma, comma. Thanks and good luck." The second email had an image of a woman who was not Anna Walsh, and using an image search, police found the image on iStockPhoto.com under, quote, "kidnapped stock photos," end quote. On January 7th, 2023, police obtained a search warrant for data associated with the account Richard Walker 9984 at gmail.com. The search warrant was sent to Google, and investigators learned that the Internet Protocol address, the IP address, with the Richard Walker 9984 email account geolocated to Nigeria, and no IP addresses located in the United States were associated with the account that sent the Richard Walker 9984 at gmail.com email. The Commonwealth is not alleging that Brian Walsh sent the Richard Walker 9984 at gmail.com email.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, Sergeant, a couple questions about that interview. There's mention of an application, Viber. Could you tell us what that is, if you know?
It's a messaging application.
And there's also mentioning of WhatsApp. Do you understand what that is?
Yes, that's also a communication app.
There was mention of a person named Abdullah. Do you know his name?
Yes, Dula Almatari,
And what is his relationship to Anna Walsh?
a previous coworker from the hospitality industry.
There was also mention of Peter Kirby. What is his relationship to the Walshes?
A family friend.
During the interview, a dog can be heard barking. Where was the dog located in the home?
In the crates in that sunken-in family room.
And you had the opportunity to be at the home a few times between the 4th and the 7th. What issues did you ever have with the dog?
None.
There was also mention of the pool today. What was going on at the pool that day?
During that wide-scale search, we had drained the pool to get a better look at it.
Now, after January 6th, when the Cohasset Police Department had a press conference, what happened to your voicemail and email?
I was inundated with messages and tips from the public.
Why is it that your voicemail and email were inundated?
I was the point of contact for any information, so my department email and phone were listed and disseminated to the news and social media.
And was Richard Walker email one of those things that came into you after that press conference?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Gilman, could we have what was marked yesterday as Exhibit 44? Sir, do you recognize Exhibit 44?
Yes.
And where is this in relation to the house?
If you're standing in the backyard with the house to your rear, you'd be looking at like the back right corner of the fenced-in portion of the yard. That's the shed.
What's on the other side of the fence?
Neighboring house.
Now, and Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 47 from yesterday? Sir, do you recognize this?
Yes,
This is the, what you said was the missing poster you created?
correct.
Now, what information, where did you get the information to create this poster?
I made this on Thursday, so I had the information from the patrol report, the NCIC missing persons form, and the information from the first interview with the defendant.
Thank you. If you could take that down, Ms. Gilman. And when you were speaking to the defendant, what did you learn as far as Anna Walsh's maiden name or prior names?
There was a previous name of Nip, K-N-I-P-P, and a maiden name of Lubitschek.
Now, after that interview on the 7th, what did you do next as far as your investigation?
We continued to reach out to friends and family, gather more background information.
And on the 8th, what did you do in the morning?
We briefed at Cohasset Police Station a plan to execute a search warrant,
And where were you going to execute the search warrant?
516 CJC Highway,
What time did you have the opportunity to execute the search warrant?
around 9 a.m.
And so when you executed the search warrant, who was with you?
Myself, I believe Chief Quigley, the day shift for patrol, the state police detectives, crime scene. I believe that was it.
And who was at the house when you executed the search warrant?
The defendant and his children, and Diana Walsh, the mother.
And what did you do with those people in order to execute the search warrant?
We had reached out to Attorney Minor, and she came to the scene, and they all left with Attorney Minor.
Now, did you ever have the opportunity to speak to Mr. Walsh again on January 8th of 2023?
Yes.
Where did that conversation take place?
Attorney Minor's residence in Situate.
And who was present for that conversation?
Attorney Minor, myself, Trooper DeChico, Trooper Proctor, the defendant, and his children were in the other room.
And have you had the opportunity to review a recording of that?
Yes.
And does that fairly and accurately depict the defendant's statements in that interview?
Yes.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth will seek to have this marked as the next exhibit, which today I believe is 62.
Any additional objections beyond the ones I previously heard?
No, Your Honor.
The 1/8/23 audio will be marked and is now in evidence as Exhibit 62. And for the record, for those of you keeping track over there, the jump is as a result of the following. The parties agreed to, and Woman, I had indicated to the council, now will indicate to you on the record, that certain financial records that the parties agreed to have been admitted into evidence, and those records are now in evidence as Exhibits 56, 61. They comprised records from Apple Credit Union, Barclays JetBlue Credit Card, Leader Bank, JP Morgan Chase, Liberty Bank, Bay Credit Union, and Fidelity Records. So, clarifying that.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, with the court's permission, may the Commonwealth play Exhibit 62?
You may.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman?
$11:13 on Sunday, the 8th, 2023. My name is Harrison Schmidt. I'm a detective at Cohasset Police.
Trooper Michael Proctor, Norfolk County DA's office.
Dave DeChico, Trooper, Norfolk DA's office.
Tracy Minor, attorney for Brian Walshe.
So we're here at 244 Gannett Road in Situate. Did you say the time?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. So, yes, the last time we spoke was yesterday, and I think we asked you to give us a good account of where you went when you left your house on the 1st, and you told us that you had gone to visit your mom, went out, ran a few errands for Whole Foods, CVS, and thank you, ma'am. You told us that the Whole Foods was across from the house, and your mom lived in Paradise Lane, and the CVS was in Daniels. Which CVS in Daniels was it?
No, sorry, maybe the one, by the nail salon that, I used to go to years ago.
What road would that be on?
By Kathmandu, Boston Shop.
Kathmandu. Okay. And what did you purchase there?
It was probably the alcoholic wipes or the other wipes, whatever it's called, I forget what it's called.
Okay, and the method of payment,
That was cash, okay.
and the time that you would have been there?
7?
About 7 p.m.?
Yeah, 11.
Okay.
I was looking for, I don't know if you show
Okay.
because it's very hard to
Well,
get.
we know that you got back to Cohasset by 8.
After 11:30, yes. But I don't know what's up.
It's not an exact science, but like a general approximation.
Before 7, most likely, it gets dark out, so we're late.
Was it dark when you got there?
Yeah, yeah.
It was. Okay. You think it was before 6:30?
I don't.
Okay.
So
So,
it could have been at 6:30.
did you go anywhere else other than that CVS and Daniels?
That was the only place I went. And the Whole Foods.
And you went there,
Earlier.
for the time?
Yeah. I've been going with Walgreens. Anytime I go, my mother asks me to get alcohol for the kids. That we should be trying to get some.
And on the 2nd, the only place you went was to press. All right, thank you. On the 2nd, may I have a look at that? Check, shows, press. Okay. And then eBay purchase.
You can purchase some vegetables.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for getting that together for me. Okay, so obviously there's a lot of electronic devices in your house. And you've been kind enough to consent to downloading several of them. One of them being the iPad mini that's Thomas's from 6 years, is that right? Now, on previously you told us that Thomas had gotten up on New Year's Eve and spent some time with you, with Jim and Anna, and then he'd gone to bed, right? And that was what, like 10, 30, is that correct?
Around there.
Around there.
You can tell by the photo that was sent by Anna, we give it more exact time.
Do you use any other devices in the house?
I use my phone, and Anna and I only use our phones and the, I guess I use everything, but I only use the gold laptop.
The gold laptop? Is that an Apple or?
Everything we have in there is Apple, except Anna's work computer was not Apple.
So again, we downloaded the iPad mini, and you've been fairly consistent in your story, in your account on the morning. You said that Anna gave you a kiss at 6:30 in the morning. Is that right? You stated that, and then 7:30 you went to make breakfast.
That's correct.
That's correct. So how do you explain at about 4:54 in the morning, the iPad mini is querying the 10 best ways to dispose of the human body
54.
in the morning?
I don't, I have no idea.
Thomas is asleep. And
Well,
he's using the iPad.
Thomas is in his room with the iPad. Thomas is usually, I mean, I don't use that iPad, so that's really weird.
He's 6, right?
Yeah,
He's,
but he does not have the,
is he the average intelligence for a 6-year-old?
oh, no, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, but 6-year-olds typically, I mean, I have a 4-year-old who's, has a hard, he can't spell his last name.
No,
6 is
exactly.
obviously way more advanced. If you have a 6-year-old who, you know, there's no.
No, obviously not.
Okay. There is dozens of searches on that iPad on the morning of the 1st that ask how to dispose of the human body, how to get blood out of hardwood floors, how to dispose of the body in the trash, how to stop a body from decomposing, and how do you explain that?
I don't have no idea.
So you're not using that iPad?
No, sir. I mean, only to get it for his spooky movies.
Okay. Anna left at 6, right?
That's what I believe, yeah.
So throughout the afternoon, on the 1st, when Anna is gone, the device continues to query how to get blood stains, does blood remove, does the dishwasher remove blood from a knife, and so on and so forth.
These queries continue on January 2nd, 3rd. I saw this number of body, things of that nature. Just does time determine that?
It is 11:21, still January 8th, 2023. Turning off the recording.
Sergeant, after that interview was over, what did you do?
We went back to the Cohasset Police Station.
If you could keep your voice up, sir.
Sorry. We went back to the Cohasset Police Station.
And did you ever have the opportunity to see Mr. Walsh again that day?
Yes,
About what time?
about 4 p.m.
And where was that?
at Attorney Minor's residence in Situate.
And what did you do with him at that point in time?
I placed the defendant under arrest.
Now, where was the defendant taken after you placed him under arrest?
The Cohasset Police Station.
And did you ever have the opportunity to see his hands on January 8th and January 9th?
Yes.
The Commonwealth would seek to publish what's been marked as Exhibit 48, which is file number 7697.
That's one of the previously admitted exhibits from yesterday morning, yes?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may publish it.
Sergeant, what is this?
That is a picture of the defendant's thumb.
And if the Commonwealth could publish Exhibit 49, which is file number 7701, also previously marked from yesterday, Your Honor. And Sergeant, what is this?
That is the picture of the defendant's thumb, and you can see the blue tile from the booking room floor in the background.
Ms. Gilman, if you could take that down. Now, Sergeant, what did you do on January 9th in this matter?
I went to 300 Forest Street in Peabody
And about what time did you get to 300 Forest Street in Peabody?
around dusk.
And why were you there?
We had collected 2 dumpsters from the apartment complex at 330 Paradise Road. Those were transported to a transfer, like a trash transfer station in Peabody for examination.
And so what were you doing? Well, so when you got to Peabody, about what time was it?
I was right around the beginning of dark.
And who was there?
Myself, Detective Lieutenant Lopes, Lieutenant Tully, members of the CERT team, and other troopers.
And Lieutenant Tully, he's with the state police, and opposed to Detective Lieutenant Lopes with Cohasset.
Correct.
Okay. And so what were these state troopers doing? Not Lieutenant Tully, but the other ones you just mentioned.
It's a big warehouse with trash lining on the walls. We had dumped the contents of the dumpsters in the warehouse, and we began searching the bags, bag by bag.
And why were you doing? So what would you do with the bags when you searched them bag by bag?
The contents of the bags were opened. It was spread out on the ground. We'd look at the contents, see if it was important. If it was, those were moved to like a tarp or plastic or paper sheeting where they could be documented, photographed, collected as evidence.
If the Commonwealth could publish Exhibit 50 from yesterday, Your Honor, which would be file number HAS 7025.
You may.
Sir, directing your attention, what is this?
This is plastic sheeting.
And can you see yourself in this photograph at all?
I can see my feet
Where are your feet located?
at the top of the frame.
And if you could just tell us like what you're wearing for footwear?
Brown leather boots and gray pants.
And if the Commonwealth could have Exhibit 51, which is file number 6810. So, Sergeant, what are we looking at here as far as the process that you were describing?
So this is right when one of the bags was opened for examination. The contents was dumped out so we could look at it.
And if we could go to Exhibit 52, which is file 6867. Now, what are we looking at here in relation to the previous photograph?
Those are the contents moved to like tarp and plastic and paper sheeting so they could be further examined.
And the boots, do you know what brand those are?
Hunter boots.
And Ms. Gilman, is it possible to zoom in on the white piece of paper underneath the purse? Sergeant, did you see that white piece of paper that night?
I did.
What was that?
That's a COVID-19 vaccination card with the name Anna Walsh on it.
If you could close out of that. Now, Sergeant, did you ever have the opportunity to review financial records in this matter?
Yes.
And you said that you'd been working on that during your investigation, but you've also looked at them since then, isn't that correct?
Correct.
Okay. At this point in time, Your Honor, the Commonwealth would ask to publish page 6 from Exhibit 56, Apple Credit Union.
You may publish that page, yes.
Thank you.
This is from the Apple Credit Union.
Yes, Your Honor. Sergeant, do you see this statement?
Yes.
All right, Sergeant, what is the date for this statement?
The ending date is January 31st, 2023.
And Sergeant, and Ms. Gilman, if you could scroll down. Sergeant, do you remember what the outstanding balance was on the account?
I believe it was overdrawn by over $800.
And Sergeant, regarding the payments on this account, do they bear any similarity to the other withdrawals on the other months?
Yes.
What's those?
Rockland FCU, that payment was reoccurring. Pepco payments was reoccurring. Leader Bank Online was a reoccurring payment.
And, Your Honor, at this point in time, the Commonwealth would seek to publish page 8 from Exhibit 57, the Barclays JetBlue card.
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sergeant, what is the date for this statement?
Statement period ending in January 17th, 2023.
And what was the balance for this statement?
Statement balance as of 1/17/2023 is $2,145.69.
And Ms. Gill, and Your Honor, if we could publish page 10 from the same exhibit?
You may.
Thank you. And Ms. Gilman, could you go down to the bottom? Sergeant, what did you see as far as activity on this card after December 31st?
None.
Your Honor, may we publish page 4 from Exhibit 58, Leader Bank?
May.
Thank you. Sergeant, do you recognize this statement?
Yes.
What is this for?
This is a mortgage payment for investment property.
And do you see an address associated with it? Towards the bottom.
Yes, the collateral property is a condo at 35A Turdor Street, Unit 35A-5, Lynn, Mass.
Sergeant, in the interviews you had with the defendant, there were discussions of properties. What other properties were there that Anna Walsh or the defendant had access to in Massachusetts?
There were Lynn rental properties.
And if we could close out of this, and Your Honor, with the court's permission, may we publish page 45 of J.P. Morgan Chase, Exhibit 60. Oh, I'm sorry, Exhibit 59.
Page 40?
45.
Page 45. You may.
Thank you. Sergeant, what is this account?
This is the Chase Freedom Card.
And when is the period ending for this account? Ms. Gilman, could you scroll down just a little? Under opening and closing date, what are those, sir?
The range is October 18th, 2022 to November 17th, 2022.
And Ms. Gilman, could you scroll up? What was due on the account at that point in time after the November date?
$0.
And with the court's permission, the Commonwealth would seek to publish page 47 of the same exhibit.
You may.
Thank you. Now, Sergeant, directing your attention to page 47 of the same exhibit, I'd like to ask some questions about October 30th. Do you see that entry on it?
Yes.
What is that state on October 30th?
A United flight was purchased on the 30th for November 23rd, 2022 from airport code IAD to airport code DUB.
What is the date associated with that?
November 23rd, 2022.
The next line down, sir?
Purchased on the same date of October 30th, a Air France flight departing airport code DUB to arriving CDG, and then a connecting flight CDG to BEG.
And the next line after that, sir? Oh, and by the way, what was the date associated with that airline?
That was 11/27/2022.
The next line on October 30th, sir?
A flight from Lufthansa Airlines for the date of December 7th, 2022, leaving BEG to airport code FRA, and then a connecting flight FRA to BOS,
Do you know BOS's airport?
Boston Logan.
Do you know IAD?
IED is Dulles in Virginia,
What is DUB?
Dublin in Ireland,
What's CDG?
Charles de Gaulle in France,
What's BEG?
Belgrade,
What is FRA?
Frankfurt.
Now, if the Commonwealth could publish page 97, one moment. Could the Commonwealth publish page 97 of this same exhibit, Your Honor?
Page 97 of 59?
Yes, thank you.
May.
Thank you, Your Honor. Within this same exhibit, was there another credit card?
Yes.
And what was this credit card called?
IHG Rewards,
And looking at page 97, what is the balance owed on this credit card?
$2,690.97.
And Ms. Gilman, could you scroll down? What is the closing date for that account?
January 23rd, 2023.
And Ms. Gilman, could you scroll down some more? What is the name on that account?
Anna Walsh.
Now, if the Commonwealth could publish page 25 of Exhibit 60 from Liberty Bay.
You may.
Do you recognize this statement, sir?
Yes.
What is this?
This is a Liberty Bay Credit Union statement ending in January 31st, 2023.
And who's the name on the statement?
Anna Walsh.
And what is the balance on the statement?
$3,388.98.
And do you see those withdrawals on January 3rd and 4th?
Yes.
Do they have any similarities to other withdrawals and other statements within this exhibit?
Yes, the MLS property was reoccurring every 3 months, and the WJ Management and Great North Prop were reoccurring monthly.
If the Commonwealth could publish page 7 of Exhibit 61, Fidelity.
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Oh, page 7. Sir, within Fidelity, how many accounts were there?
2.
And do you recognize page 7?
Yes, this is account ending in 5493, a IRA account.
And who's the name on the IRA account?
Anna Walsh.
And what is the date of the investment report?
February 1, 2023 to February 28, 2023.
And what is the account value at that point in time?
$93,615.82.
And if the Commonwealth finally, Your Honor, could publish page 118 from the same exhibit?
You may.
Thank you. What account is this, sir?
This is an individual investment account ending in 5491 for Anna Walsh.
And what is the investment report date?
February 1, 2023 to February 28, 2023.
And what is the account value?
$117,719.74.
Can you take that down, Ms. Gilman? Your Honor, may I have a moment?
You may.
Your Honor, at this point in time, could the Commonwealth ask that you read in G for identification, another stipulation?
Yes, may I have G, please? I don't need to repeat to you what the stipulation is, I'll just read it now to you. Brian Walsh was arraigned in United States District Court in Boston, Massachusetts, on May 11, 2018. On April 1st, 2021, Brian Walsh pled guilty to indictments for wire fraud, interstate transportation for a scheme to defraud, and conducting an unlawful monetary transaction. On October 6, 2021, an initial sentencing hearing took place in the United States District Court. Brian Walsh was seeking a sentence of probation and restitution, while the government, through the United States Attorney's Office, was seeking a sentence which included incarceration of 30 to 37 months and restitution of approximately $475,000. In January 2023, Brian Walsh had not been sentenced on the federal charges. Brian Walsh was represented by a lawyer at all stages of the federal case.
And I have one last question, Your Honor. Sergeant, what are the closest hardware stores to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
On Route 3A, to the north is Hingham Lumber, about a mile away, and to the south is Abishan Hardware, also in Cohasset, about a mile away.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Any cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
You may proceed.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Those financial records that were just displayed to the jury, tell us in your own words, what's the significance of those?
It goes to the totality of the circumstances in the investigation. It gives us background and just an understanding
An understanding of what?
of the entire investigation.
Well, what those records show, isn't it, is that there was a lot of automatic payments being made.
Yes,
Those records do not show any withdrawals reportedly by Mr. Brian Walsh, do they?
correct.
And, for instance, those records that were related to the Freedom card that you then told the jury about the indication of the flights and you identified DUB as Dublin, where'd you get those records?
From Chase Freedom.
Okay. You didn't find those records in the home of Mr. Walsh, did you?
No,
And you didn't find those records then in the possession of Mr. Walsh, did you?
can I explain?
Can you answer the question?
I can.
What is it?
Physically in his possession, no.
And when you were talking and asking Mr. Walsh questions, both on January 4th, January 5th, and later on January 7th, and then on January 8th, he never once told you anything about Anna Walsh being in Dublin, or he was suspecting that she was in Dublin, or anything of the sort.
Correct.
When you were talking to Mr. Walsh back on January 4th and January 5th, he forthrightly told you about the federal case, didn't he?
Yes,
And he told you that it was, I think he used the word integrity. He admitted that this was all his fault, correct?
yes,
And that stipulation that was just read to the jury about the federal case, that was the same case, wasn't it?
correct.
It was about painting fraud involving Warhol paintings that were fraudulent, correct?
Yes,
And as far as you know, and based on your investigation that's gone on for some time now, other than that federal, there's no other federal case. Let me ask you about it.
I'm not aware of any other federal case.
And it'd be one of the things you would do as the lead detective in this case to make sure you knew about other pending federal cases or things like that, correct?
Yes,
Let me just ask this. You told us that on January 8th, around 4 p.m., you returned, was it to Attorney Minor's home and placed Mr. Walsh under arrest?
Yes.
And it's fair to say that once he was placed under arrest, is it fair to say that he remained in custody?
Yes.
And so, just getting to that Richard Walker stipulation, fair to say that one of those ransom notes that we had to hear about, that occurred after Mr. Walsh had been placed into custody, correct?
Yes, I believe it was February 10th, the second one I received.
So, even though the stipulation entered into evidence was that everybody agrees that Mr. Walsh had nothing to do with that Richard Walker tip, nonetheless, you knew and the detectives knew early on in this case, that Richard Walker tip had nothing to do with Mr. Walsh, correct?
That was our understanding.
Okay. Now, I want to focus your attention on what we heard on the January 8th interview. By the time you got to Tracy Minor's home, you and your colleagues had done an investigation on what's been referred to as a mini iPad, correct?
Yes.
And that mini iPad was associated with one of the sons, the oldest son, correct?
Correct.
And when you listen to that recording, when you listen to the questions that are posed to Mr. Walsh, and you ask him about that mini pad, his demeanor changed, didn't it?
Yes.
In fact, it's fair to say, isn't it? I don't want to mischaracterize, but he basically he looked and sounded sad, didn't he?
Correct.
Because you were talking to him about his oldest son mini pad, right?
Objection?
Basis? Overruled.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
You were talking to him at the time about his oldest son's mini pad, correct?
Correct.
And he basically answered you, I don't know anything about those searches, right?
Correct.
You've learned in your investigation of this case, haven't you, that the searches that you were asking Mr. Walsh about at that time, those searches were not, in fact, conducted on the mini iPad that was associated with his son, correct?
Yes, they were synced to that, but they did not occur on that iPad, is my understanding.
Right. So now your investigation was able to determine that whoever conducted those searches, of course, your investigation revealed that it was Brian Walsh. He never used his young son's mini iPad to conduct any of those searches that we've heard about, correct?
Correct.
And so when you asked him about that mini iPad belonging to his son, his demeanor changed and he looked sad, correct?
Yes.
Those, okay?
Yes, sir.
Those two exhibits that were shown, Exhibit 48 and 49, they showed what appeared to be cuts on the hands of Mr. Walsh, correct?
Yes.
You have no idea how those cuts occurred, do you?
Correct.
You don't have any idea when they occurred, do you?
Correct. Well, I do know they occurred before the photo was taken, obviously.
I'm sorry?
They occurred before the photo was taken, obviously.
Yes, obviously. So, let me ask you a couple of questions about some of the things you testified to about yesterday. One of the things you testified to is, at some point after going to the home, and talking to Mr. Walsh on January 4th, you and I believe it was Detective Lawrence?
Officer Greg Lawrence.
Okay, Lawrence. You went and you surveyed the interior and the exterior of the home.
Yes.
And one of the things that you were doing was, as a trained law enforcement officer, you were looking for anything that might give you a clue or anything suspicious or anything like that.
Correct.
And that's how you're trained.
Yes.
And you're a very competent officer, aren't you?
I think so.
And in this case, you exercised that competency. And when you saw, for instance, that Volvo out in the parking lot, you walked out there and you looked inside the Volvo, correct?
Correct.
And is it fair to say that Mr. Walsh was with you at the same time?
Yes.
And you made note, and you told this jury about it, you made note that you saw a piece of plastic sheeting lying in the back of that Volvo, correct?
Yes.
And you even made note of what you described as a seedling that had fallen down into that sheathing.
Yes, that's what I remember.
And eventually that sheathing was eventually seized, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
It
last
was
part.
eventually seized, it was taken?
That plastic sheeting? Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Was there other plastic sheathing that was subsequently seized?
Yes.
And did that subsequent seized sheathing, did it match the sheathing that you observed in the Volvo?
It looked familiar. I'm not aware of any scientific comparison from one sheeting to the next.
Okay. But I guess it's just fair to say that when you were looking around and you looked at that Volvo, Mr. Walsh didn't keep you from looking inside, did he?
Correct.
The child-proof latches that we heard about yesterday. If we could have Exhibit 34 brought up, photo number 7335. That's that door that you testified to yesterday?
Yes.
That's the door to the basement?
Correct.
The childhood latches are at the top of the door?
Yes.
Anybody can undo those latches as long as they're tall enough to reach them?
I assume with the proper grip strength, yes.
Okay. And so any adult could probably release that plastic latch, correct?
Yes.
And as far as you know, on the door handle, there was no key lock or anything of the sort preventing somebody from going down into the basement?
I don't recall a key lock on that door.
And when you saw that door for the first time, was it open or shut?
I don't recall.
Okay. We heard some evidence yesterday about a hole in the ceiling in Mr. Walsh's bedroom, correct?
Yes.
I'm sorry, you can take that exhibit down. I apologize. Maybe we could see now Exhibit 29, photograph 7319. Now that's the hole we're talking about, correct?
Yes.
And is it your testimony that you saw that hole on January 4th, the first time you were taking a tour of the house?
I remember seeing it on the 5th and not being surprised by it.
And all you mean by that is, I could have seen it, but I'm just not sure.
Yes, so I definitely remember it on the 5th, and I remember knowing that the ceiling tile was in the bottom drawer of that bureau, or that nightstand. I don't explicitly remember seeing it on the 4th, but I believe I did just because I wasn't surprised by my seeing it on the 5th.
Okay. Is it fair to say that when you talk about those ceiling pieces, they were stuffed in a drawer that was right there underneath the hole?
Correct.
And it was Mr. Walsh who showed you where those pieces were?
Yes.
And you didn't see anything on those pieces that raised any suspicion?
No.
It's fair to say that when we look at this exhibit, we can see what sometimes is referred to as ceiling joists.
That's what it appears to be, yes.
Okay, and between the ceiling joists is insulation?
Correct.
and it's as if the insulation is intact, the ceiling joists are intact, but the plaster fell down, correct?
Yes.
And it's fair to say that plaster falls down without any pressure on it, depending on what happened, correct?
Depending on the state of disrepair, possibly.
Okay. You have no idea how that hole occurred, do you?
I believe in one of the audio recordings, the defendant states he goes up there and was walking around.
Okay. But you don't have any idea what he was walking around for.
Correct.
And in fact, in that conversation, the context of that was that that occurred long before January 1st.
That was my presumption.
Presumption based on the context of the conversation.
Yes.
That insulation that we see, is it fair to say that what we're looking at is the paper wrapping that covers the fiberglass that forms the insulation?
Yes, the vapor barrier portion of the insulation.
And is it fair to say, do you know, well, that's a terrible question. Do you know, sir, if the insulation that we're looking at in that exhibit, what color it is when you look at the fiberglass insulation?
I remember it being pink.
Okay. And it's a pink color. Now, we saw some photographs of the basement of the Cohasset home, didn't we, yesterday? Correct?
Yes.
And in those photographs, it also showed photographs on the ceiling to the basement, correct?
Correct.
And that ceiling also had insulation, correct?
Correct.
And that color of that insulation was also pink, correct?
Correct.
You talked about going down into the basement, and you saw some bags down there. You recall that?
Yes.
Could we have exhibit number 33, photograph 7343? Well, I got the wrong number. I apologize. Well, I think I'll just ask you questions. I apologize for all of that. You went down into the basement.
Yes.
Did Mr. Walsh go down in the basement with you?
Yes.
You found some bags down there,
I did.
and you didn't open the bags.
Correct.
But you pushed on the bags or touched the bags, didn't you?
Yeah, I manipulated it with my boot.
With your boot. And what did you think was in the bags?
Like a piece of a rug or like carpet sample sized.
Okay. But you didn't look in the bag, correct?
Correct.
But based on your training and experience, you thought it was pieces of rug.
That's what I assumed.
Okay. And this was on January 4th, wasn't it?
It was either the 4th or the 5th.
Okay. Whether it's the 4th or the 5th, there were still bags down there in the basement that may have contained pieces of rug.
Correct.
And Mr. Walsh was right with you when you were using your boot to touch those bags, and using your training and experience, determined that feels like they have rug pieces in them.
Correct.
And down in that basement, those stairs, they're wood stairs, aren't they?
They are.
And did you notice the very bottom stair to the stairway to the basement, that it was cracked or broken?
Not at the time.
And, of course, the flooring for that basement that you entered, that was concrete, correct?
Yes.
You were asked some questions both yesterday and today about the pool that is in the rear part of the home at Cohasset, correct?
Yes.
And at one point, you looked at the pool and it had water in it, and then subsequently, it had been drained, correct?
Yes.
And as far as you know, nothing of any significance was found in that pool, correct?
Correct.
And in fact, you would be interested to determine if there was any evidence that a substance like blood had been placed in that pool. That'd be one of the things you'd be curious about,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And after you and your fellow officers had uncovered the searches that we've heard some about, You're aware of a search, aren't you, that was found on the MacBook that talked about something about how you measure blood in a pool or some words to that effect? Are you aware of that?
Yes.
And so there was never anything found of any significance in the pool, was there?
Not that I'm aware of.
And in fact, I think it was, you talked about a canine search in the back area, correct?
Yes.
And that canine is a human scent canine, correct?
It's a patrol and tracking dog.
And it didn't hit on, if that's the proper term, it did not hit on anything in the backyard whatsoever.
I believe the canine was on the outside portion of that fenced-in backyard doing the track.
Okay. It didn't hit on anything significant or related to your investigation of this case today?
No.
Now, you walked through the house, you already told us, correct?
Yes.
You walked through it at least twice, one on January 4th and then on January 5th.
Yes.
And you didn't see anything that seemed suspicious, correct?
Correct.
And it's fair to say that, quote, you're sensitive to that, correct? Based on your training and experience.
Yes.
But you well know, don't you, that subsequently, criminalists, multiple criminalists from the Mass State Police then arrived at that house sometime after or on January 8th of 2023, correct?
Yes.
And they were there for more than just 2 days, weren't they?
It was more than one day. It went into the second day at least.
And they went over every single room and item in that Cohasset home, didn't they?
That is my presumption.
And so even though when you, as a trained and experienced officer, walked through that house a couple of times and didn't see anything, still there was trained criminalists that came to the house to conduct testing and searching for anything that might be significant, correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
There was trained criminalists that came to the house to look for anything that might be significant related to the investigation that was ongoing.
That is correct.
I want to ask you some questions about the media used to message. There's no such thing as something called iMessenger, is there?
I'm familiar with iMessages,
Right.
like Apple-to-Apple communication.
Right. So my question is rather simple. There's no such thing called iMessenger, correct?
At that direct quote, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And when you were talking to Mr. Walsh on January 4th, he used the term iMessenger, didn't he?
It was either iMessenger or iMessages.
Well, you were asked about that when you testified before the grand jury, weren't you?
I don't recall, likely.
Well, do you recall that at the grand jury, based on a series of questions, you determined and stated in part that when Mr. Walsh was talking about iMessenger, he was really talking about Facebook messaging.
The did seem as if it was, because we're on the Facebook subject and social media subject.
Okay, and when he was talking to you and saying, well, some messages would come up on his phone that were intended for Anna Walsh, he was talking about, quote, iMessenger. That's the phrase he used, correct?
I believe so.
And then Messenger, once again, has to do with Facebook, correct?
That was my presumption from the context of the conversation.
And so you are unaware, as you sit here today, that there is any forensic evidence that Mr. Walsh ever saw the messages or any messages that may have occurred between Anna Walsh and one person named William Fasto, correct?
Can you repeat the wording of that, just so I have it clear?
You are unaware of any forensic evidence that establishes that Mr. Walsh saw iMessages that may have been sent between Anna Walsh and William Fasto.
I don't recall any digital forensics related to what you're describing.
Okay. And in fact, are you aware of the use of Messenger in the context of Facebook?
Yes.
And is it fair to say, and just correct me if I'm wrong, that somebody can friend somebody on Facebook and then they can trade Messenger communication, correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
And anybody who is a friend will see those Messenger communications and can respond to them?
In the context of Facebook,
Yes, in the context of Facebook.
messages, my understanding is messages between people would be only between the people that are included in that message.
Well, when you talk about Messenger, you're talking about messengers, the format used
Facebook,
by
Facebook Messenger, yes.
It's fair to say that if someone's trying to hide an affair, they don't communicate using Facebook Messenger that might be open to people that they don't want to find out about an affair.
Objection.
Sustained.
You are unaware, as you sit here today, of any forensic evidence that indicates that Mr. Walsh saw any Facebook Messenger communications between Anna Walsh and William Fasto, aren't you?
Correct.
In your interview and your questioning of Mr. Walsh, and if I go withdraw that, Judge, I apologize. During your questioning of Mr. Walsh, you were present with others, correct? Other
Yes.
officers.
Yes.
So sometimes when the jury heard that questioning, it wasn't you asking the questions, it was other officers, including Trooper Pacheco, correct?
Yes.
But during those questioning, you were asking, and when I say you, I mean you or your colleagues, you were asking Mr. Walsh for names of people that might be helpful, correct?
Yes.
And he gave you a number of names, people who he knew Anna may be friends with in D.C., and names of people that she might be friends with in the Massachusetts area, correct?
Correct.
And one of the names that he gave you was William Fasto, correct?
Yes.
And you are aware of the fact that William Fasto sold the $1 million townhouse to Anna Walsh and Brian Walsh, correct?
Yes.
And when Mr. Walsh gave you the name of William Fasto, he didn't sound angry, did he?
He did not.
He didn't say anything pejorative about Mr. Fasto, did he?
Correct.
And before that occurred, you or your fellow officers had made it clear by asking Mr. Walsh questions of whether he knew anything about an affair or affairs that Anna Walsh might be involved in.
Yes, we asked about that.
And you asked him about it more than once.
Correct.
And you were asking about it because it could be something that you'd use in your investigation, correct?
Yes.
And by the nature and the context of your investigation, you were making it clear that, well, an affair could be some evidence that could be either good or bad in our investigation.
Potentially.
Right. And so, anybody who's trying to hide the fact that they knew about an affair that could be bad evidence, you wouldn't expect them to give you the name of a person that they knew was having an affair with their wife.
Objection?
Sustained.
Well, isn't that part of your training and experience, officer, that you don't expect people to give you harmful information when you're asking them questions?
Objection?
Sustained.
In any event, you had made it clear to Mr. Walsh that evidence of an affair could be either good or bad, correct?
Can you repeat that?
But you made it clear, you and your colleagues, in the multiple questions about an affair, that evidence of an affair between Anna and somebody else could be good or bad evidence.
I don't recall speaking about an affair being good or bad.
In any event, we can all agree that he just gave you the name of William Fastow in the context of anybody that she may know, Anna, may know in the D.C. area, correct?
Correct.
Along with other names, correct?
Correct.
Now, on January 7th, during the interview of Mr. Walsh, he was told, and the jury has heard this, that obviously, quote, obviously, with Anna missing, you know, the public and many people, they're going to have their suspicions about you and whether you did something to Anna. That was told to Mr. Walsh on January 7th, wasn't it?
Correct.
In fact, you were, the point of that question was you were warning Mr. Walsh that people are going to suspect him, correct?
It was the topic of discussion.
Okay. And so it's true, isn't it? When something happens like a missing person, people don't believe somebody that they think might be responsible for the missing person, correct?
Objection?
I'll have the question back.
I'm sorry, Joe.
I'll have the question back. Sorry about that.
I'm
Or
sorry.
new question.
I'm, sure. Oh, I'm sorry.
Could I hear that? No, if I was supposed to.
Maybe I'll, the best thing to do is withdraw the question and start over.
Start another one. Thank you.
You were warning Mr. Walsh that people weren't going to believe him.
I didn't make that statement, so I was not warning him that.
Okay, but you were there with your colleagues, correct?
Yes.
And your colleague, I mean, from the context of it, you understand that your colleague was telling Mr. Walsh, people aren't going to believe you, so they're going to be suspicious.
I don't know if it was under the context of people aren't going to believe you, but we were discussing the subject that he may, people may suspect him. And I remember he said that his attorney exposed him to that.
Okay. But regardless of what his attorney told him, When it was told to Mr. Walsh, obviously with Anna missing, you know, the public and many people, they're going to have this suspicion about you and whether you did something to Anna, correct?
Yes.
And as an experienced police officer, you know that to sometimes be true, correct?
Sometimes.
People don't believe you when you say something happened, correct?
Objection.
Overruled, but I am having a little hard time. I don't know if it's the monitor or the tone or the largeness of this room, so keep your voice up, and if you can on the microphone, I know you like to move around.
Maybe I should just stay right here.
It's all right, you can move around, I just need you to keep your voice up.
Thank you, Judge. You know, sir, that in investigations, for instance, for a missing person, people don't believe the person that they might think is responsible, correct?
I've always been under the premise of trust but verify.
Trust but verify. Okay. That's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Redirect.
No, Your Honor.
The witness may step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.